additional measures. She's more fiery. She gets a bit more emotional. She's a bit more given to the rhetorical flourish, perhaps, than Keir Starmer is. It's been a while. I can't remember the last time she was.
29th of March, I think.
Oh, yeah, so
was
quite
when
a while
her
ago.
final clash with Dominic Raab. So yeah, quite a while. It doesn't happen often. That's why they like to sort of Angela Rayner's team like to take the moment, make the most of it. They always give us some pretty good one-liners. It's always pretty feisty and fiery, James, as you say, as an exchange. And I'm sure no doubt today will be no different. Oliver Dowden really will want to come at the traps flying. First one at PMQs. We want to show that Rishi Sunak's vindicated in nominating him rather than any of the other senior cabinet ministers do it. He's on his feet. I think it's going to be quite a good one.
Cool. We shall cross immediately. We'll run out of things to suggest that might come up. Keith, any thoughts? No, Keith's got nothing. Anyone else? Any texts? Anyway, what else are we looking for? Why is it taking so long? It's 2 minutes past 12. Could have gone to the news.
Backbenchers rambling on.
Backbenchers are rambling on. So we will do what we always do, take it live, and then pull out after Stephen Flynn. Does Stephen Flynn still does his bit, or does he hand over to a deputy?
He normally hands over.
He hands over to a deputy as well, and then come back and pick over the bones of what has been said and done. Just to recap, we're probably going to hear about housing. We may hear about food inflation and food prices. It would be surprising if Jacob Rees-Mogg's admission that the Conservatives deliberately set out, and of course he was a minister when this policy was formed, wasn't he?
Absolutely. It's part of the cabinet that pushed it through.
Yep. It was on Johnson's watch.
Yep.
Whew. Have a look at that, see what Dowden has to say about that, because he can hardly, well, I don't know, can he shoot the messenger? Can he
He'll
criticise
just
the
say,
source?
I totally disagree and this is wrong.
That's
and
not
there
what
is
happened at all.
But it's difficult when he's a former cabinet minister.
Will he be in the House today, or is he too busy on the telly? Okay, let's go. Here it is. Angela Rayner on her feet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's a pleasure to welcome yet another Deputy Prime Minister to the dispatch box, the third deputy that I've faced in 3 years. And you know what they say, the third time's a charm. And I'm also pleased to note, Mr. Speaker, that the Prime Minister has a working class friend, finally. I seem to remember that after the loss of 300 Conservative seats at last year's local elections, the Right Honourable gentleman resigned, saying someone must take responsibility. After 1,000 more Conservative councillors have been given the boot by voters, who does he think is responsible now?
Well, Mr. Speaker, in the spirit of the Right Honourable Lady's opening remarks, can I just say it really is a pleasure to see the Right Honourable Lady here today. I was, though, expecting to face the Labour leader's choice for the next Deputy Prime Minister if they win the election, so I'm surprised that the Lib Dem leader isn't taking questions today. And, Mr. Speaker, you will forgive me, Mr. Speaker, you will forgive me if I take the Right Honourable Lady's predictions with a pinch of salt. After all, she confidently predicted that the Right Honourable Member for Islington North would one day be Prime Minister. Remember, this is a man who wanted to abolish the army, scrap Trident, withdraw from NATO and abandon Ukraine. And what did she say to that? She couldn't wait for him to be Prime Minister.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's absolutely amazing that while the Labour Party is preparing to govern with a Labour majority, his party is starting to prepare for opposition, Mr. Speaker. And this week, at the National Conservative Conference, a member for Devisers blamed the country's problems on a new religion. He even hit out at the dystopian fantasy of John Lennon. The member for Pentonstone and Stockbridge said identifying